For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off your order. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here, back with another video, and today I'm bringing you guys another pass defense focused video. This time we're going to be in the 4-6 defensive playbook. Again, this is more of a highly requested defense video, so if you guys have any other requests, let me know down below in the comments, and I will try to upload them as soon as I can. So, 4-6 playbook, obviously we're going to be running the 4-6 normal formation. Not only does this playbook have the 4-6 normal, it also has 3-4 bear, nickel, 3-3-5, wide, and normal, as well as big nickel and dollar. So it's definitely got a lot of good formations, and also has the 4-6 normal, which is not in a lot of playbooks. I know it's in Cincinnati, it's in a couple of other ones, but not a ton of playbooks. So 4-6 normal, personally my favorite play to run out of this is going to be just the stock cover 3. Now you can also mix in the cover to invert as well, but I usually just run cover 3. I like to adjust out of it. But yeah, it's going to be more of a zone coverage type of a defense. There is a man coverage play, as you see, you got the cover 1 hole right there. But again, it's more focused on zone defense. So next thing we're going to do is head to our packages here. So the package, the reason 4-6 is a very popular set is because you can get 5 cornerbacks, I believe is the number in there. So we just go to the speed package. You're going to flick your right stick to the right hand side once. That's going to take you to your speed package. Now if I just go ahead, click on, you see we got a cornerback at linebacker, which is something you can't do out of any other formation. If you do want a safety still at linebacker, let's say you just want to run 4-6 but with a safety instead of cornerback, what I would do is just put my whatever safety I want as cornerback 4 in my depth chart. And this player right here, he's going to be our cornerback 5. So we got cornerback 5. The one small weakness I would say is that you do have a middle linebacker here. You can't get a safety here. You can't get a cornerback at this one spot. So obviously, we're going to try and stay away from that guy, not really use him in Ultimate Team. If you can, try and just get one fast linebacker, Patrick Willis, whatever. So with that being said, we'll just come out on the field again, running the cover 3, and I'll show you guys a couple of different ways how to run it. Usually when I'm running this, I like to run it with the 4 or the 5 cornerbacks just because they have really good speed. You can get like 93 speed at your user, and it's really difficult to pass on someone with a 93 speed user this year. So just coming out in the base play, here is a look at what I'm going to do. Usually just the first setup is going to be where I double flat on the strong side of the field, which is going to be the bunch. So I'm going to put A on a little hard flat, which is going to be the left stick. Again, we're putting this cornerback here. He's going to be in the hard flat. Now the one thing is we have a linebacker here. Usually you're not going to want to use the linebacker. Again, I don't really like to use the linebacker. So we're just going to put him in a zone. We're going to put him in usually a curl flat zone. Again, we're going to be using Holmes here. So we're going to be using this cornerback, which is why we throw this guy in the flats. So we have someone in the flats. And yeah, since you're using the corner, you get very fast speed. You don't necessarily need anybody else in the middle of the field. We will go over a defense later that has people in the middle of the field cover to invert. So you did notice that I pressed. Again, I like to press. You could also shade over the top. One thing I would recommend is that you put your flats to 5 yards or curl flats to 20 yards. Again, that is optional. You can do whatever you want. But for now, we'll just snap the football here. You see, using everything, and we do end up getting pressure. Now again, I am using the New York Giants on defense. They don't exactly have a good pass rush, so stick with me here. Obviously, if you have some better pass rush, you should be able to get pressure. The next step to the defense, though, is going to be just putting up a QB spy. Usually, I will spy one of these 2 guys. In this case, I'll just do Hill. So you can just spy him, get a 3-man rush, and then again, the next step is just press, shade over the top, and then put A in a hard flat, put X in a curl flat. So again, or Y, not X, my bad. Just got a little bit confused there. And again, with your user, you can actually put him on a blitz. That will help you run faster. Putting him on a spy or a blitz helps you move faster, gives you better agility and things such as that. So again, we will just snap the football here. And boom, you see now the spy picks up on a lot of the running back underneath routes, under routes, hook curl routes. You notice we actually did get a better pressure there, it seemed like. So for something weird I found in this game is that you actually rushing 3, sometimes a lot of times get better pressure than rushing 4. So it is very weird, but it is something that actually happens to me quite often. So again, put that little player in a spy, press, put A in a hard flat, put Y in a curl flat, put your user again on a blitz, you're using this player right here. Obviously, if they flip it, you still do have a cornerback on the other side. You see the coverage pretty good, and again, we see very quick pressure. I know that the Bengals don't have a good offensive line, but even with that, it's a bad D-line against a bad O-line, so it's not necessarily the O-line's fault. But yeah, let's move on to another setup, and the other setup I like to do is a little cross-man action. So here, I'm just going to cross-man this player on B, and then I like to go ahead, press, put man up, or I actually like to man up X on X right there, and then I'm just going to leave that player in his little curl flat assignment. I could also go ahead and actually man him up on the running back. This player right here, I could actually man him up on the running back. And one thing that's weird about this formation also is that this cornerback here is going to be on the linebacker adjustment. So again, in the regular formation, the 4-6 normal, he is a linebacker, but when you go to speed, it becomes a corner, but again, it's still a linebacker adjustment, so you have to double tap the D-pad, do all that. Man him up on the running back. That's usually what I would do, but again, you have to be careful if you're doing that adjustment, because if they throw RB on a drag or whatever, you could be in a little bit of trouble. So be careful about that. Now, I like this little cross-man adjustment a lot with the linebacker. A lot of times B is on a post route or something, so that's something that I will go with. But again, a relatively stock setup. We got just a couple of adjustments there, just to really, with the couple of players that we are manning up. And again, I would probably be watching the running back. If I want, I can even turn that little curl flat into a cloud flat, so it's playing a little bit more shallow, defending a little bit of the flats better, things of that nature. You see it sort of lurking down on both routes. But yeah, you see, again, quick pressure. That is a good way to mix it in. Let's say I'm going against Josh Allen, or I'm going against Brett Favre or Dan Marino, and I don't have to QB spy. What I would do is put this player in the hard flat adjustment that we were doing with this linebacker right here. And then again, I don't need to QB spy, so I can still keep my 3-man rush. Then I would go back to the cross-man adjustment, man X on X, man this linebacker, this X linebacker, or the Y linebacker, excuse me, on Auden Tate, that is, yeah. So again, that is what our defensive play art is looking like. Pretty nice play art if you ask me, and again, really, you never want to go with the same setup every time. Obviously, if something's working, you kind of want to stick with that. But really, I think the best way to play zone/man coverage is just to run a hybrid of both. And again, we're running mainly zone, but you see we're mixing in man coverage, and you can really switch between the couple of setups that I give you guys to have the best success with this style of defense. So again, I could always shade over the top as well, so that my man coverage isn't going to just get burnt. And again, this time I would probably have to work down on Y a little bit. You see that X is pretty well defended. If I wanted that in route defended better, I just wouldn't shade over the top, which is something you definitely can do. But one more time in this setup, we're going to man up that X cornerback on X. We're going to put B in a hard flat, and then we are just going to cross-man this player on B. Again, right now he's on a streak, so it kind of looks useless, but a lot of times he'll be on a post. So if I just call a different play, you see now he's on a post. We'll smart out it, make it a little bit shorter. And now we should have a little bit better success. Also, if I wanted to, something I could do is actually just completely man up A on RB. So I could go with something like this, where I actually man up both the receivers on that side, and I still have my hard flat to defend the flats. Really, no other player will be on a corner out that could beat you. Maybe B on like a quick out route or something like that could beat you. But again, this is a really good style of defense if the running back's on like an under route out of verticals. If you don't know what an under route, this is what it looks like. It's this route with Bernard. That's what I'm talking about, the route that a lot of people like to throw out of double post, things of that nature. So if they are going to try and throw that, then again, you have a hard flat over there. You are good to go. So this style of defense, very, very solid. Again, you're using a cornerback. You got a lot of speed. You got your player right here to defend the flats on the left. You still do have good help over the top. Really, the route that could kill you is maybe a deep post from right to left, but you do have him cross-manned, so if your linebacker's fast enough, that shouldn't necessarily be too huge of an issue. There you see, again, very quick pressure, rushing 3. Now time we are blocking 6 people. I'll show that variation again, and you saw that setups like 2 and 3, very similar, just with the exception of maybe one adjustment. So again, a lot of these are very tight in. It's just an extra adjustment here, one less adjustment there. So I think it's very easy to learn and adjust in-game between these. One more time with this adjustment, you're just going to man up X on X. You're going to cross man Y on B, you're going to man up A on RB, and then you can just throw B in a hard flat. That might seem like a lot of adjustments. This is that's kind of what you have to do with these zone coverage setups. You have to make a lot of adjustments for them to be successful. You can't just run stock cover 3. I do apologize if you are more of a beginner player, but to play zone coverage this year, it's very complicated. You have to do a lot of these weird adjustments and just to have basic success. So it is a little bit annoying, but something you got to deal with. I do enjoy doing it though. So again, this time I'll actually just max protect, run sort of the same exact concept. Boom, we're lurking. You see the corner out covered, little dig route covered, deep post completely locked up pretty well just by the linebacker. And Lorenzo Carter, he is a little bit of a zone coverage linebacker. I don't think he has the best speed, but he's still able to, he did a really good job on Auden Tate. I'm not sure his rating, but probably around 75. So again, pretty good coverage on the back end. With that being said, we'll just hop into our last play, go over a quick setup. It's going to be the cover 2 invert, and this is what I was talking about with that other play. So you're going to want to press again, probably with this. What I would do is put Lorenzo Carter, our linebacker, in the inside third here, and then I would probably cross man A on B, and then again, maybe I throw B in a hard flat. So again, we got a cloud flat, we got a hard flat. If I wanted to, I could just put A on a curl flat. Create sort of the same concept, but in this case, I could actually just bluff him, just user up here, so he thinks that I'm using the safety, but actually I'm not. So again, it's a sort of a similar concept, but the difference is that you just get to user this player. I like to run out of cover 2 invert. It's just one last adjustment. You see right there, flood is a really good play to beat this type of a setup, and again, if I wanted to, I could just throw up a spy instead of that double flat, whatever. But yeah, that's just a simple way to user the safety. Again, with the setup, I could obviously man that corner on X if I wanted to, but then you have really no deep help on the left side. You have your slow linebacker who's not going to be able to defend much ground as far as the click on goes, so again, be careful about that. But I would throw A in a curl flat, B in a little hard flat, and then with this player, you could leave him on a vert hook. I could man him up on the running back. I could cross man him on B. I could do a lot of different things. Right here, I'll just user this, and you see pretty good coverage. So I gave you guys what I think is just a couple of really good setups. You can combine them, and again, I know they were a little bit complicated. You can take away a step here if you don't want to man up that outside solo receiver. You don't have to do that. If you don't want to cross man, you don't have to do that. But just combining a lot of these individual unique adjustments, and you can have really good success. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and peace. I'm out of here.